Hi, everyone. I'm Rich Tyner. Welcome into the Corley Quarterly, presented by First Bank, as we sit down with Director of Athletics at Belmont University, Scott Corley. Scott, I don't know if there's ever been a spring quite like this one for so many reasons.
Well, you're right. All of us in the NCAA are experiencing a lot of firsts this spring, but it's a lot of fun. It's unique to have all of our sports competing all in the same season. Obviously, that's due to COVID. We all know that. But as an AD, the best part of the job is watching our student athletes compete. So there's plenty of opportunities to do that here in the spring. And then obviously, we're coming off such a wonderful basketball season. Men's basketball had another great season. The women's basketball team made history in their opportunity. And so to watch what they accomplished, to win that first NCAA tournament game down in San Antonio, as they faced a lot of adversity throughout the year. Couldn't be more proud of them. So a lot going on, but such a fun time.
And the future is incredibly bright for both men's and women's basketball at Belmont.
It's very unique. Men, no seniors. Women lost Grace and Madison Treese, but they had injuries this year. So basically everyone coming back on that. So the future is really, really bright. Got a lot of good momentum going on with both programs, and it's going to be exciting to see how they build upon that.
Challenge, but also lots of opportunity and a tremendous amount of success with other sports over the course of the spring, with all the sports competing at the same time, essentially.
No doubt. I mean, it's, to see what men's soccer is doing, being near the top of the SoCon. Women's soccer has really found their stride right now, winning, I think, 3 or 4 in a row and positioning themselves well. You got track and field getting going. We had cross country, can't forget that. We had a great results at the OVC Championship cross country meet, and Ben Nager was able to represent us at the NCAA National cross country meet and did a great job there on a really tough course and really tough conditions. And so, I'm sure I'm leaving out a lot. Men's and women's tennis, they're going and getting to play on the new courts. And so, softball, baseball, you just name it. Got a lot of, in a lot of ways, it's hard to keep up with it, but I know our coaches and players are working really, really hard and doing the best that they can to represent us on the field of play and off, as always.
You mentioned the new tennis courts, and one of a variety of ways that Belmont Athletics is having an impact on development all over the university on the campus.
No doubt. It's so great to get 6 tennis courts back on campus. Not only for our program, which it'll have an immense benefit to our program just from recruiting and player development, but when we're not utilizing those courts, obviously for the faculty, staff, and students to be able to get up there and get some exercise and play the great sport of tennis, I think that's going to be a real benefit to the Belmont campus community.
And then, of course, one of the other big pieces of news in terms of development of the campus is the new practice facility that's well underway toward completion.
Boy, that's just a game changer for those programs of men's and women's basketball and volleyball, and it's coming out of the ground. One thing Belmont does well is they know how to put buildings together and do it on time and get things going. And so we're excitingly approaching the opening of that facility, sometime maybe late May, early June, and just the impact that that's going to have is tremendous. It speaks volumes to the continual support and investment that the Belmont University makes in athletics, and we take that very seriously. And I know our coaches are excited to get in there and use that facility as well for the player development and recruiting and all the things that come with such a wonderful facility that Belmont's been willing to support us in.
So even with all the challenges presented by COVID, Belmont Athletics has really had a great opportunity and success again in engaging with our community, with alumni. Talk a little bit about the AMP program that you and Ryan had put together.
Yeah, this program was developed, one thing when I got here, I wanted to set up a mentoring program, and, it took a little bit to get it off the ground, but I'm really excited about it. We're going on our second year now, And the whole objective of the program was for our student athletes, whether they're sophomores, juniors, or seniors, to have a mentor that they can connect with outside of the athletic world. Someone who can mentor them, whether it's in personal development, whether it's in helping networking for them to find jobs when they graduate from Belmont. And I'm really excited about, we had 36 student athletes sign up for the program. And so we found 36 mentors, and they come in all different forms, whether it's former student athletes of Belmont, whether it's Belmont alums, or whether it's just people that either I knew or other folks knew in the business community, the legal community, whatever, that were very gracious enough to serve as a mentor and take their time to help our student athletes develop outside of sports. And so really proud of it. It's, COVID, it's certainly different. What our student athletes don't need is another Zoom, but they're willing to do it because they see the value in it. And I've had other student athletes come up and just say how much they've enjoyed getting to know their mentor. A lot of them are developing almost friendships, which is a wonderful thing, because to me that means it's going to last even past Belmont. When our student athletes graduate, they're going to know these mentors, hopefully stay in touch with these mentors, and continue to lean on the mentor as they go through their professional journey.
Professional journey, that's well said. And the AMP program certainly deals with the professional aspect of the student athlete's life and future. But boy, even going beyond that, talking about character development, there are some ministry and service-oriented things that Belmont Athletics continues to be really big on, even when it's virtual. The Battle of the Bruins, what a job by SAC.
Yeah, really proud of the student athletes. And you're right, Rich. I mean, one thing that I think is a strength of ours and separates us is just how we combine the mission component of our value statement as a university and as an athletic program. Our student athletes take it very seriously. We've had a partnership now with Special Olympics, and we help raise money for them through what has historically been a kind of a variety show that our student athletes put on to raise money. This year they had to pivot, and they didn't hesitate. They made a great decision to move it onto an online event, about a 30-minute video that's out there. And really the challenge is which team could raise the most money for Special Olympics, because at the end of the day, that's what this whole thing is about, is helping out Special Olympics. So really, really proud of what the student athletes and SAC, it was under SAC's leadership, did there.
What I'm really amazed about is that, another one of the programs that Belmont's had going on for a long time, back to Betty Wiseman days, starting it is the mission trip program. And even with the limitations on travel, Belmont Athletics found a way.
Yeah, that's kind of the nature of what we do, right, Rich? And right. To do it virtually, to do different things, to continue to make sure that that's part of our student athlete experience, that those that want it can get it. And Ryan Nicey's, his leadership's been instrumental in that. It's unfortunate in a COVID environment, but this was the 25th year of the Betty Wiseman mission trips, and we certainly hate that student athletes can't physically participate in those annual mission trips, but you gotta just make the best of the situation, and under Ryan's leadership, we've been able to do that.
We don't want to wrap up the program today without making reference to a mutual friend of ours and campus leader, Dr. Bob Fisher, who is retiring at the end of this academic semester. Talk a little bit about his impact on and support of athletics at Belmont.
Well, first and foremost, I'm forever indebted to him, and just grateful that he took a chance on me 5 years ago. An individual had no athletic department experience. I think he obviously understood my love and passion for Belmont, but he didn't have to do that, and he took a risk, and I'm forever indebted, because it's been the most fulfilling experience that I could ever imagine, professionally or personally. But then to actually work with him and to see all the things that he does in the president role, but then I'm telling you, at every event, every athletic event he seemed to be at. I don't know how he did it. I don't know how many hours are in his day, but it's amazing to see in the support in our coaches and student athletes see that and felt it. And it's just when it starts from the top of the support that athletics has gotten, we couldn't be more grateful for that. A lot of presidents aren't that engaged and don't need to be, but Dr. Fisher's been such a friend and such a believer in the value of athletics, and we're the beneficiaries of it. And to see with him going out in the buildings that are being built is just another example of how much he supported us. And so we're forever indebted to him. I know he and Judy will be around. We expect to see them at a whole lot of events and cheering on our student athletes. But obviously what they've done in their 21 years here is leave an amazing legacy that, will continue on for years to come.
Tremendous legacy. Scott, thank you so much for your time today. We really enjoyed talking with you.
Thanks, Rich. Appreciate it.
Scott Corley, the Director of Athletics at Belmont University, as we wrap up this edition of the Corley Quarterly presented by First Bank. I'm Rich Steiner. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone, and go Bruins.